Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Trading Bitcoin with your host Tone Vase. It's about midnight in New York. It's about 4 p.m. Here in Sydney, where I am. I see a bunch of people already on. Let me see if the video quality is good. Looks okay. Let me pop out the watch. Oh, I forgot my microphones. How are you guys listening? Shit, I forgot something. All right, hold on. I knew I forgot something. There you go. Wonder if there's any audio. Let me change the mic. All right, better now. All right, audio should be better now. All right, let's get back here. Okay, time to pop out the live chat. Europe is sleeping, not the most optimal time to stream, but we do what we can. I got about 300 live viewers. That's not bad. All right. I see Nick. Hey, Nick. Glad you can join us. Corey, if you're on, grab some questions for me. If not, it'll be fine. All right. Let's go to screen share. Hey guys, so once again, I'm still putting together the conference, Unconfiscatable. It's going to be the 24th to the 26th of January. No new speakers to announce yet. A lot more people are signing up for the poker game. We have 20 seats left for the general public. I'm reserving a bunch of seats for the crypto celebs. What was that? I'm not sure what happened there. There we go. I'm reserving a bunch of seats for the crypto celebs. If they don't register and pay like everybody else, then I'll open the seats back up. But we're going to have some new cool pictures for you up here soon. And the speakers are still the same. Speakers are still the same so far. And we're going to bring you some new ones soon. The price is still 0.1 Bitcoin. We have 37 seats left. After that, the price rises. So do your thing, and we'll take care of it. All right, next. All right, let's talk price. So I didn't even talk about my workshops. You guys know how to get to my workshops. So I still don't see any difference between the current environment and a 2014 environment. I just don't. No matter how many times you tweet at me and waste your time trying to convince me that this time is different, there is nothing different by looking at the price of Bitcoin. Nothing is different than it was in 2014. In 2014, the October candle fell and touched the combination of Fibonacci line and I'm going back to my Fibonacci line. I mean, it makes more sense. It makes more sense. I don't care what you guys think. I don't care that you think it's supposed to be 78.6. I like 76.8, 76.4. I entertained the idea of changing it because I got tired of people telling me that it's wrong, but it's not wrong because it beautifully supported the price of Bitcoin in 2014. And on my gold chart, where's my gold chart? Gold weekly. And on gold, why is he so light? Oh yeah, that's the problem. Much better. And on gold, here it is, the same Fibonacci line. I'll make it purple to match. 76.4. It perfectly supported the price of gold. That's my Fibonacci line. I don't care that you don't like it. I don't care that you disagree with it. It's really irrelevant because what matters to me is, can I use it in my trading? And the 76.4 has been so much more useful than the 78 one, and I'm going to stick with it. And there it is, right? The 76.4 perfectly bouncing the price of Bitcoin in 2014. Right there, it did it back in 2014, along with the combination of the 30-month moving average. Now, that combination is happening right now, this month. Now, last time we touched this combination in the month of October. But remember, last time we made a high in the month of November. This time we made a high in the month of December. So we kicked off the bear market 1 month later. So you should not be surprised that you are crashing from a base 1 month later, okay? Now, can we touch the combination of moving average and 76.4 Fibonacci line? Can we touch them this month? The answer is maybe. We'll see. I believe that we can. And if not, it can easily be next month. Now, next month, there's also a trend line. This trend line has historically broken the 2 prior bull runs. Here's the first bull run. Here's the first bull run, and we broke the supporting trend line by a couple of months, and then we kicked off a new bull market, made a much longer stabilized trend line. We eventually broke down below that trend line, and we made a low, literally the candle of the breakdown of that line. And that's good. I mean, that was the low. There was a secondary low about 6 months later, but that was the low. Thank you for your $5 tip, PyCon. I don't see a question there. I can read your comment. You say, logarithmic growth will be at 4,800. Everyone since 2011 that logarithmic growth has hit 27% Bitcoin, found the bottom, and started the next move. 27% is 4,800. That's possible. That's possible. I still expect this trend line to break. I got another question. Guys, can you save your questions for later, please? Because otherwise I gotta stop my train of thought and I have nobody doing questions. I'll read your question, and if I remember it for later, I'll answer it, but I'm not gonna answer it now.
Hey, Tone, the same percentage drop as 2014 would put us at 3,000 range. How probable do you think this is versus falling to the previous high of 1,000? I'll try and remember to answer it later. So I am expecting us to fall below this green trend line, and I'm not expecting us to ever get back above that trend line. Unfortunately, we're never going to get back above it. We can touch it at some point, like we did with this one, but I don't ever expect us to trade above that trend line. That trend line is going to be key. So at the least, I'm expecting 4,800. Will 4,800 be the ultimate low? I don't know. Okay. Personally, I'm looking at something else. I'm also looking at the bear market after it bounced off the 30-month moving average and Fibonacci line. It then broke the 30-month moving average, but it never closed below the 50-month moving average. I believe it's possible for us not to close below the 50-month moving average. The 50-month moving average right now is at under $3,000, and it will be at $3,000 next month. So as long as we don't close below it, we're kind of maintaining the last bear market. Now we can swing below it. Now, what's the probability of swinging below 3,000 into the $1,000 range and then get back above 3,000? Actually, it's not that small. It's actually pretty high, higher than you would think. I don't think we're going to trade above this trend line. Guys, this trend line moves pretty quickly. Do you realize that this trend line by October 21, this trend line is at $75,000? Like, I mean, maybe it's possible. I'll be okay if at the end of 2021, Bitcoin is $75,000. I'm fine with that. I mean, by 2023, this trend line is $250,000. Like, let's be realistic here, okay? I'm happy to be wrong. I'd love to see us trade above that trend line, but it's not going to be very likely. I mean, we'll have to round out the bottom somehow. We're probably not going to start a real uptrend until end of next year, maybe into 2020. I mean, we can go up quickly. We could. It is a slower moving trend line, but it'll be hard. It'll be hard. We're looking at new all-time high by June 2020. That's where this trend line is. And last time we did pierce it, we pierced it by like $10,000, and then we couldn't close above it. All right. I'm still bearish. The monthly is on a 4 of 9. Look for a 9. Look, we bottomed on pretty much a 9. We hit an 8, and then we've price flipped. We pretty much went 9 candle bear market, and we had an interruption. We didn't even have an oh, we did have an interruption. We did have an interruption. Yeah, I'm still looking for a 9 here. Okay, here is the weekly chart. This is the key chart. The chart just broke down. We're just starting the bear trend. I'm still looking at my first target being 49.75. I see nothing that derails this target. I can unclutter this chart and remove this nonsense about the breakout. That doesn't belong. I'm deleting all of this. I can even delete this box. I gave it a 5% chance we're not going to crash, and we crashed. I don't need this anymore either. So there it is. So here's the weekly chart. This is bearish. Those are the weekly chart. This arrow is still on line. This arrow is calling for the middle of December. We should be able to get to that $5,000 level. The moving averages are about to start dropping like a stone. They already did. Look at the that's the 200 day. That's the 50 day. It's got to be the 50. That's the 200. So that's the 50 day. That's the 30 day, and that's the 200 day. The 200 day is now way above my second target. My second target is 3,000. 3,000 has just become very likely. I would give it a 60% chance we're gonna hit 3,000. That is a 60% chance we're going to hit 3,000. I probably have about a 35% chance we're gonna hit 13 to 1,500. And I'm still waiting for this one to get hit. So I will update my percentages in a tweet after we touch the blue line, okay? Once we touch the blue line, I'll give you that. Now remember, if I have a 60% chance of hitting 3,000, there's a 35% chance we're gonna hit 1,300. That's included in the 60%, right? Because to get to 1,300, you have to go through 3,000, okay? So they're included together. All right, there's nothing else to say. The descending triangle has broken down. There's a 60% probability it's gonna reach its target. Here is the daily chart. So I got a lot of slack for using, look, I'm using Bitfinex here. And Bitfinex, when I tweeted this out the other day, I said Bitfinex is like on a 2 of 9 or 3 of 9. And people said, hey, but other exchanges are on a 9. Sure, if those exchanges were on a 9, you are now in a countdown phase. So either it's a 6 of 9 setup trying to get to your 9, or you are now fully in the countdown phase. So if I take the weekly chart and I turn it into a daily chart, as you can see, we had a 9. We had our 1 to 4 candle correction. And now you are trading on a red 3, trading below a red 2, trading below the 9, and you are back into a short trade. I can't answer your question. I already forgot the other question I was supposed to answer. Guys, you're asking me questions too early. I have nobody doing questions right now. I can read your question, but I'm going to forget to answer it. And actually, I refuse to answer this question. What do you think is the probability of end of year bounce of November, December? And if so, at what price? I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. You're already end of November. So look, we can fall tomorrow to under $5,000. If tomorrow we fall to under $5,000, the probability of an end of year bounce is incredibly high, like 80%. A bounce back to 6,000. But if we don't crash, the probability of the end of year bounce is almost 0. So you tell me, I can't tell you if the bounce is coming until I see if the crash is coming. It's like, Tone, when is the bull market gonna start? When the bear market ends. How do you know when the bear market ends? The charts will tell me, but they're not telling me right now when the bear market is going to end. The bear market can end tomorrow. Do you know how I know the bear market can end tomorrow? Because the price of Bitcoin can crash to $1,300 tomorrow. And if the Bitcoin crashes to $1,300 tomorrow, I will say the bear market is over. Now it's time to time the bull market. But if we get stuck at 5,500 for the next 3 years, then the bear market is still not over. So bull market will start when the bear market ends. The charts will tell me when the bear market has ended. And right now, the charts are telling me the bear market is maybe in the middle, price-wise, and probably in the middle time-wise. But price can dictate time based on how price reacts. The other question was the percentage question. Look, the difference between 3,000 and 1,000 is actually very small. There's almost no difference between 3,000 and 1,000 when, like, in the future, from a future point in time. Here's what I mean. Here we are today at $5,000. A year ago, we were at $15,000. Did it really matter that the bear market ended at $160 or at $360? And the answer is it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. If you are prepared properly, it really doesn't matter if the low is 3,000 or 1,000. If you're properly prepared for the end of the bear market, okay? 3 years from now, 4 years from now, it will be completely irrelevant at what price the bear market ended, okay? So I don't know, and I honestly don't care whether we bottom at 3,000 or 1,000. My job is to properly identify when it ended. I can't tell you at what price it's going to end. I might do another interview with Craig Wright. I don't know. It depends if I want to. It depends if I have the time. It depends if he wants to. It depends if he has the time. I'm really not really planning it. I'm pretty busy, guys, as it is. Thank you, Captain Socio. Okay, let's move on. So here is, oh no, I'm on a 12-hour chart. Okay, so the Bitfinex chart, which I've been using for years, I like it because of this purple channel. I need to transition everything to the Bitstamp charts, and I just don't have it. So here's the Bitstamp chart. The Bitstamp chart gave you a 9, and you're now fully in the countdown phase. I expect the selling to accelerate now. This is fully bearish to me. Set the proper stop loss, probably above yesterday's high, and down we go. I'm expecting us to go down. I'm not expecting things to be much different. We'll go back to the weekly. I'm not expecting things to be much different than the triangle back in, I don't have it on this chart. I probably have it on this chart. Like back in 2014, oh, geez, I got to scroll back a lot. Back in 2014, we also had a really big triangle, a triangle that took a good, 3 months to form. Here it is. From June all the way until the breakdown in August. So it took about 2 months, right? And then look, we fell. Oh, I didn't even know it bottomed at a 9. I didn't even see that, right? Like, look, this is actually incredibly similar. Incredibly similar. look, you broke down from the triangle hard. It took 2 days, and look at the giant bounce off the low, right? Here's the big bounce. And then you had another weak day, and then you had a bullish day, and then you had another weak day, and then you dropped again, and you met the target. And then you had a 9 and a nice correction, and then you actually made another triangle. This is another triangle right here. I can draw it for you if you like. It's right here. It's very easy. Very easy triangle to draw. Can't miss it. Can't miss this triangle. Here it is. There's your triangle, right? So you made another triangle. I gotta slide this over one. There's your triangle. And it never made it back to the bottom of the triangle. It tried hard. Now the first initial bounce took it down to 450. The second bounce took it down to 440, the second swing down. Then you went all the way up to 530. You went up 25%. You just didn't make it there. All right, guys. Thank you, Daniel. You have a question. Do you think dollar cost average in every week is the best start, or wait for 1300-ish? I don't know if 1300 is coming. If you wait for 1300 and 1300 never comes, then you never get in. It's your choice. If you're going to hold Bitcoin for longer than 3 years, the best time to buy is always yesterday. Yesterday is the best time to buy if you're willing to, if you believe in Bitcoin. When is the best time to buy Ethereum? The answer is never. There was never the best time to buy Ethereum. It was always a shitcoin, okay? It was always just there as gambling and speculation. I believe Bitcoin is different. I believe that Bitcoin is not a Ponzi scheme like Ethereum. I believe that Bitcoin is something better, okay? So if you believe in Bitcoin, the best time to buy it for the long term is always yesterday. That's why I still have my Bitcoin. So there was another triangle. So it never made it back up there, okay? And here's why. Like when you guys say, Tone, should we buy in now or wait for, like in the bear market of 2014, my target was $110. Did we ever hit $110? No, we did not. Okay, we never made it to 110, right? We only made it to 150, but my target was 110 because I had a time projection. I said that the market is going to reverse in the summer of 2015, but I thought it would reverse from the low price. So if you were following me back then, you were waiting for 110 like I was, and 110 never came. It only got as low as 150, but I started saying 110 from here. Back when Bitcoin was about 500, I was already saying, actually, I initially was saying that the low is going to be about 150, 160, but in the summer, not in the first week of January. So when the first week of January came and we reached my price target 6 months ahead of schedule, I lowered my price target to 110. So if you ask me the same question back in 2015, should we dollar cost average at $200 or wait for 110? Waiting for 110 would have been stupid, right? Even though that was my price target. I mean, I had God knows how many thousands of dollars set as limit buy orders at between 110 and $120 a Bitcoin because that was my target, but that target never arrived. My time target nailed the reversal, and then we crashed to 160 in August. but we still never reached my 110. Now, was I wrong on the 110? Well, it depends. If you think of it from the eyes of someone at $200, I was off by almost 50%. But how wrong was my 110 target from the, from $1,000 versus 150 low that we got? I was off by about 3%. So it depends what perspective you're looking from. So no, don't wait for 1,300. It may never come, but 300 may come as well, right? So we don't know. We don't know. All we can do is say what we think it's going to do based on probabilities and the last piece of data that we got. And the last piece of data that I got was at exactly 5:39 and 15 seconds UTC time. Nope, 18 seconds, 19 seconds, 20 seconds, right? With the information I have at hand and this second in time, that's what I think. We just made a new daily low. We're making a new daily closing low, assuming the candle closes here. And I would not be surprised if we're at $4,900 by the time you guys wake up in New York, okay? I would not be surprised. Is it a good time to short right now? No, a good time to short was on this blue line, okay? That's when I was shorting Bitcoin. I shorted right here. I doubled down right there. And if I still had my position, I would have quadrupled down right there. And I probably would have been up a good 10 to 15 Bitcoin on the trade by now and counting. Here's the 12-hour chart. Once again, I'm using Bitfinex only because I am. We had a price flip. The 12-hour chart is breaking new lows. We are at a new yearly low. So what do you do when you break the yearly low and you start a new yearly low? You short. That's what you do if you want to be a profitable trader. So unfortunately, the sequential did not give you a great trade because it was a red price flip, but you were breaking closing lows with new momentum, and you short the low, and you have plenty of room to the downside. If the next candle is a red 2 below a red 1, you can probably increase the size of your trade, right? Look how minuscule the daily look how minuscule, like the big day, the stupid tether hype. You guys talk about fundamental analysis, but none of you not none of you, but most of you just don't understand what fundamental analysis is. When you can explain an a one-off irrationality of bullish prices in a bear market, you have to just ignore it. It's noise. This tether thing was noise. It was irrelevant. Look at these giant 2 red candles. They went down more than this candle went up, open to close. Yeah, sure, there was a spike, but if you have the proper risks profile set on your trade, you'll be okay. So below this line was a short, but not on the sequential. On the sequential, you need a red 2 going below red 1. Well, I drew this thing when I had the data, right? So based on the data that I had, this was the bearish pennant I drew. Now, at some point, you had more data. The pennant was bigger than I originally thought it was. The new pennant would have looked something like this. Okay, that would have been your new pennant, like that. It's still a bearish pennant and it's breaking down. And this time around, your target will be higher because your breakdown level would have been later. So here it is. So there's your pennant. It still worked. It just, when you have more data, you draw a bigger pennant. The tweet that I sent out showing you this doesn't change. You adjust the pennant. The signal did not change, just got delayed by a little bit. Here's the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart's coming up on a 9. It's also coming up on a deferred. Oh, that's interesting. Look, the 8 candle came in at the low. We're now deferring that 13. We might hit it. So the 4-hour chart has broken down, but next candle will be a 9 candle for a potential reversal. Oh wait, I gotta put my computer on charger. The shorts are actually, like, people are leveraging. People are going leverage long. That's not smart. Like, people are leveraging longs, not really going in for the short. Look, the amount of shorts to long ratios are still in line with more downside. People are still overly bullish. Not enough people are bearish, and we got plenty of room to the downside. Oh, this is B trash. Now, I didn't take into account scammy cloud miners stealing hash rate from Bitcoin to defend their scam currency. So Bitcoin ABC was going to lose. Bitcoin ABC was not going to exist. Craig Wright had them dead to rights. But when you steal hash rate from Bitcoin because you feel like you're a benevolent dictator of your currency, then you cheated. So Bitcoin ABC cheated. They cheated for survival of their currency because they got outplayed and outmatched and outwitted by Craig Wright. They cheated to get the extra hash rate. And those that, let's see, what's a politically correct term? So those that were stupid enough to assign their miners to people that want Bitcoin to die, and you're mining Bitcoin, if you want to profit from mining Bitcoin because you believe in Bitcoin, but you assigned your Bitcoin hash rate to people that want Bitcoin to die, then you're the loser. You're going to be the reason why Bcash still exists. Bcash could have been dead right now if it wasn't for the people that helped Bcash survive by not having their Bitcoin hash rate with an honest pool like Slush Pool. Like the only like I mine at Slush Pool. I will never mine at any other pool than Slush Pool. If you actually want Bitcoin to, if you actually care about Bitcoin, you should move your miner to Slush Pool. And no, I don't have any affiliates with Slush Pool. I just mine there. So go to my Twitter for more information. Right here, right? Says it in black and white. Memory dealers is Roger Ver. Roger Ver's memory dealers on Reddit, and it says it right there. Where somebody asked, where is the hash rate coming from? It's coming from BTC chain whenever we need it. So whenever they feel like they want to mine their shitcoin, they will just take your BTC hash power and they'll just move it over. Okay? Or if they're moving their own hash power over from Bitcoin, then they're just scamming you. They don't believe in their own coin. They're mining Bitcoin like everybody else. And then they're trying to get you to convince to hold their made up money for them. Oh, that's a big drop. Still going. Oh, there's your 13. You got it. Finally. And that's one of the things Tom DeMark says. It's really interesting how that happens, right? This is why you have all these plus signs right here. All these plus signs, right? Because you're waiting for that 13. You're saying, hey, this 8, it's not over yet. It's not over. All of this is noise. You wait for the 13. The price will go lower than this. This candle came too early. The sequential 13 will come and it will break this candle to the downside. That's the 1 hour candle. It's the 1 hour candle. I got another podcast coming up in like an hour or so. It'll be in Russian, so your Russian speakers can watch it. It'll be on with Porklog, where I normally do my Russian podcasts. Man, I got a little bit of a sunburn. We're walking from Coogee Beach along the water over to Bundy Beach. Bcash versus Bitcoin. Well, this is the Bcash on BitMax. So the Bcash on BitMax should be in line with Bitcoin ABC, but the underlying isn't trading. I mean, this is a clown show. Just look at it, right? BCH is not trading because no one knows what BCH is now. Is it BCH ABC or is it BCH SV? No one knows because guess what? They're only 10 blocks behind. Craig Wright is only 10 blocks behind. Craig Wright would probably be ahead, if way ahead, if they didn't steal the hash rate. Oh, this just came out. CoinDance is now able to declare that both active chains will continue to be permanently split into the foreseeable future. The majority of businesses in the cryptocurrency ecosystem are now using Bitcoin Cash, BCH, to refer to the chain maintained by miners operating in consensus with the latest implementation from Bitcoin ABC, Bitcoin Unlimited, Bitprim, never heard of it, Bitcoin XT, how does that still exist? Bcash and BCHD. A number of exchanges have added support for Bitcoin SV chain under the Bitcoin SV, BSV, BCHSV name, but general app support is currently very limited. Expect to see announcements made from each of the major companies in the Bitcoin Cash ecosystem that clarify which chains will support going forward. The Bitcoin SV community believes that dedicated hash is the key mechanism used for building network consensus. The Bitcoin Cash community believes that miners, developers, businesses, and individuals should all have a voice in the future protocol changes. Over time, we will see which of these two viewpoints ends up getting us closer to the dream of building a digital cash for the world. We also wanted to give a big thanks to the entire community for all the amazing support you've given us. Yes, 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 yes. We will continue to offer insights on Bitcoin, Bcash, and Bitcoin SV. I think that if the chains are split, I would like to declare that we should all call, in order for there to be absolutely no confusion, maybe we should call Bitcoin, Bcash, and Bitcoin SV. I'm actually okay with Bitcoin SV. I don't have a problem with the Bitcoin SV name, but I still prefer Bcash over the other stupid name. If you wanted Bitcoin ABC to die, you should have told people not to mine with scammy cloud miners. That will just redirect your Bitcoin hash rate onto BAB. I'm calling it BAB. That's the ticker, BAB. All right, there it is. So as you can see, they are up to 267 and they are up to 264. They're only 3 blocks behind, guys. Bitcoin SV is only 3 blocks behind Bcash. They're only 3 blocks behind. They might be ahead by the time I end this live stream, because guess what? They have more hash power. And if they have more hash power, if Craig Wright has more hash power, how shitty do you think Bcash is? They have no hash power. Only when they steal it from Bitcoin, because they have the power to move what you told them to mine. Let's see that 1 hour chart. We're pulling back a little bit. Well, we printed the 13 though, right? We printed the 13. We made a new swing low. I mean, I see this going lower. I don't see anything here that's bullish. I don't see anything here that's positive. Long term, short term. I mean, if this candle goes up and becomes green, that's a nice reversal candle. But the 9's coming next hour. In 5 minutes, you'll get a 9 candle. Let's see what happens. This is the premium on GBTC. The premium went below 1. Premium went negative. Is this line at 1? What's the parameters of the line? There it is. No, line's not 1. A little higher than 1. It's 3% higher than 1. Let me see. Oh, wow. Look, it came to parity. That's 1. That's parity. Wow. Wow. You hit parity, guys. No premium on GBTC. I would love to see this when Bitcoin falls down to like 3K. I'll go all in, my retirement account, all into GBTC. Get that premium. Your ETF ain't coming. Your ETF ain't coming. It's not coming because there's no handle on exchanges. And don't give me Binance. Binance wouldn't exist if they didn't print their own useless money. Here's Ethereum in terms of dollars. I expect Ethereum to go back to where it started, which was $2. That's my Ethereum target, remains $2. Here is an interesting one. That was a nice 9 at the top. This is the spread between Bitstamp and Bitfinex. Really cool how it's, you know, the last 3 9s have called the spread beautifully. S&P is going to have a huge week, huge week. This is my 10-minute candles on the S&P. Let's go to daily. This is daily S&P using futures. and tops on a 9. We made a higher low. We made a double high. I'm optimistic here. I think it already started trading for the day. Let's see when the market opens. I would like if I see new all-time highs, I'll be a big bull of the markets. That's all I got, guys. We have to wait on the S&P. Please check out the Unconfiscatable tournament, poker tournament, and conference. Here are all the speakers that are coming to Vegas. The poker tournament will surely sell out. I have 20 tickets left for the general public. The rest of the seats are being reserved for the celebs. Also, on my website, please check out my list of workshops. Tampa has been added. People are starting to register for Tampa. So here we are. Sydney is coming off the schedule. Brisbane is now sold out. That's great. I didn't expect to sell out Brisbane. But Sydney is going to come off the schedule. And yeah, I mean, probably in a few minutes, right, when the day ends, when Sunday ends in New York. And here we are. I don't know where else I'm going to do it. I'm going to restructure my webinars. I want to restructure my workshops. Like I said, I got a lot of revenue to make up for now. You guys have been enjoying a lot of free content, and you've been enjoying my very cheap and reasonable prices on my workshops and other stuff. But that's because, as you learned, you are subsidized by, non-intrusive ways of me monetizing to keep doing what I'm doing, because I don't do it for free. I know you want everything for free, but that's not how life works. So I am going to be restructuring a lot of things, and I haven't decided yet how I'm going to do it. But for the rest of the year, everything stays. The big one is going to be in Las Vegas during the conference. All right. I got nothing more to say. I don't have anybody doing questions, so I'm just going to get going. We got a new hour. So the new hourly candle is here now. It is on a 9. I'll show it to you. There it is, but you have to wait for this candle to end. This is not the kind of 9 I would rush in and buy the market. Maybe if the 9 was like this candle can close at a new low. It can also close at a new high. If this candle closes at a new high, I would then be bullish, but most likely it's going to close at a new low, and then I'm just going to stay bearish. I mean, I'm waiting for my $5,000 target to get hit, and I believe that it will. All right. That's it. Thank you for watching, guys. I'm closing out with 1,200 viewers. Again, I wanted Bitcoin ABC to die. Most of us did. Most of the Bitcoin maximalists did, because I think it's a tragedy that people are being, swindled into holding like fake Bitcoin. And because they were able to steal Bitcoin's hash rate over onto their chain, they were able to stay alive because Craig Wright hadn't dead to rights. So we'll see what happens going forward. Now we'll have to deal with Bitcoin ABC again. Well, we'll deal with it, No, it's a fact that Bitcoin ABC did not have more hash power. It's easily provable. It's right here. The fact that Bitcoin SV wasn't even mining their own chain in the beginning. And look, they've almost caught up in blocks. They're almost 2 blocks behind. So don't give me this bullshit about how Bitcoin ABC has more hash rate. It doesn't. Bitcoin ABC has shit. They have no hash rate. Okay. They have a propaganda machine. They have no hash rate. Okay. They had to steal hash rate from Bitcoin in order to do it. Because look, Bitcoin SV is only 3 blocks behind. And considering they weren't even mining in the beginning, they were CoinGeek and BMG were probably mining the other chain, but because the other chain stole hash rate from Bitcoin, they were able to prevent their chain from being destroyed. Also, they put in checkpoints, which is just centralized code into their own blockchain, so they can do whatever the hell they want. It's a centralized. It's no like I think Ripple is more decentralized at this point than Bitcoin ABC is. All right, guys. I'm gonna get going. This shit is getting me aggravated, and I will. I didn't even do screen share on that one. Doesn't matter. Just go to CoinDance and you'll see who has more hash power. All right, guys. I'll talk to you all on the next one.